What if the reason I stopped putting new money into VOO had nothing to do with VOO being a bad investment? In fact, VOO is still one of the best ETFs ever created. But when I looked at where the market has been heading, how concentrated the S&P 500 has become, and what I actually wanted from my new investments, I decided to start directing more of my money toward SCHG instead. And here's the interesting part. SCHG is actually cheaper than VOO. So, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why I stopped adding new money to VOO, why I chose SCHG instead, and the one major risk that could make this strategy completely wrong for you. If you enjoy practical investing content without the hype, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with someone building a long-term portfolio. And stick around, because the biggest difference between these two ETFs is not the one most investors talk about. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Let's start with VOO. VOO tracks the S&P 500, giving investors exposure to roughly 500 of the largest U.S. companies. Its expense ratio is incredibly low at 0.03%, which means you pay just $3 per year for every $10,000 invested. That is hard to beat. But SCHG, the Schwab U.S. Large Cap Growth ETF, takes a very different approach. Instead of owning the broad S&P 500, SCHG focuses more heavily on large U.S. companies with stronger growth characteristics. And here's the surprising part. SCHG's expense ratio is just 0.04%. So the cost difference between these two ETFs is basically negligible. The real question is not which ETF is cheaper. The real question is, what kind of market exposure do you actually want with your next dollar? That was the question that changed my approach. VOO gives you broad exposure to the U.S. large cap market. You own technology companies, but also banks, energy companies, healthcare companies, industrial companies, consumer staples, and everything in between. That diversification is one of VOO's greatest strengths. But it can also dilute your exposure to the areas of the market you believe will generate the strongest growth over the next decade. SCHG takes the opposite approach. It intentionally leans toward companies with characteristics such as stronger earnings growth and higher expected growth potential. That means you get significantly more exposure to the growth side of the market. And that matters because the modern economy is increasingly being shaped by a relatively small group of companies involved in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, semiconductors, software, digital advertising, and other technology-driven industries. Now, before anyone says, but VOO already owns those companies, you're absolutely right. VOO does own them. But owning something and having meaningful exposure to it are two very different things. Think of VOO as a complete buffet. SCHG is more like saying, I'm going back for another plate of the foods I believe have the highest long-term growth potential. That doesn't guarantee better returns. But it creates a portfolio with a much clearer growth thesis. And that's why I stopped automatically buying more VOO. Not because I suddenly dislike diversification, not because I think the S&P 500 is going to collapse, but because I realized that continuing to buy VOO was simply giving me more of what I already had. Broad, large cap exposure. SCHG gave me something different. It gave me a deliberate growth tilt. Now, if you're finding this comparison useful, like the video because it really helps the channel reach more investors. And I also want you to comment below, are you Team VOO, SCHG, or do you own both? Because here is where the strategy becomes even more interesting. Many investors think choosing SCHG means abandoning diversification. But that is not necessarily true. SCHG still holds a broad portfolio of large U.S. growth companies. The difference is that its holdings are selected with a specific investment style in mind. VOO asks, what are the largest companies in America? SCHG asks something closer to, which large U.S. companies best fit a growth-oriented investment profile? That distinction can create dramatically different performance over time. During periods when growth stocks dominate the market, SCHG can potentially outperform a broader index like VOO. But during periods when value stocks, energy companies, financials, or other sectors lead the market, VOO may have the advantage. And this is the risk investors need to understand. Choosing SCHG is essentially making a bet that large cap growth will continue to be a powerful engine of long-term wealth creation. That may happen, but it is not guaranteed. Growth stocks can become expensive. Technology-heavy portfolios can experience significant volatility. And when market leadership changes, a growth-focused ETF can go through long periods of underperformance. This is exactly why I wouldn't tell every investor to sell VOO and buy SCHG. In fact, for many people, VOO may still be the better choice. If you want one simple ETF that gives you broad exposure to America's largest companies, VOO is extremely difficult to criticize. But if you're younger, have a long investment horizon, already own broad market ETFs, and want your new money to have a stronger growth tilt, SCHG may be worth considering. Personally, I see this as an evolution in strategy. Instead of asking, what is the best ETF, I'm asking, what does my portfolio need more of? And that is a much better question. Because the best ETF for a brand new investor may not be the best ETF for someone who already owns VOO, VTI, retirement funds, or other diversified investments. Your portfolio should work like a team. You don't necessarily need every player doing the exact same job. If VOO is your reliable all-around player, SCHG can be your growth specialist. And one practical approach is not necessarily choosing one or the other. Some investors may prefer to keep VOO as their core holding, while directing a smaller percentage of new investments toward SCHG. For example, instead of selling everything, you could use a strategy like a core and growth approach, where VOO provides broad diversification, while SCHG increases your exposure to growth companies. That approach may reduce the pressure of trying to predict which ETF will win, because the truth is, nobody knows with certainty. What I do know is this. The ETF with the best historical reputation is not automatically the ETF that deserves your next dollar. Your next investment should depend on what you already own, your risk tolerance, your time horizon, and the specific exposure you're trying to build. That is why I stopped automatically buying more VOO and chose to put more attention on SCHG. Not because VOO failed, but because my portfolio strategy changed. And that is the key lesson. You don't have to abandon a great investment to choose a different opportunity. Sometimes the smartest portfolio decision isn't replacing what you own. It's simply becoming more intentional about where your next dollar goes. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more ETF and long-term investing content, like this video, and share it with someone who is deciding between VOO and SCHG. And before you go, leave a comment below. If you had $10,000 to invest today, would you put it all into VOO, all into SCHG, or split the money between both? I'd love to hear your strategy. And if you want to keep building a smarter long-term portfolio, check out the next video because the combination of SCHG with a dividend ETF might be even more interesting than choosing between SCHG and VOO.